Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. A mother and her son are dead tonight, and police need your help finding their killer. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Piorlo. Happening right now, Hartford police are coordinating with other local, state, and federal agencies in a manhunt to find a murder suspect who is still on the loose tonight.
And Hartford police are asking for the public's help to locate the whereabouts of 23-year-old Lance Morales of Waterbury. Fox 61's Matt Karen has the information you need to know to be alert and aware. Matt.
While Hartford police are asking for your help, they also stress that Lance Morales should be considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, do not approach. Simply call 911. Speaking straight from the heart.
This hit the heart of Hartford.
And straight to the camera.
Do not approach this individual.
Interim Hartford Police Chief Kenny Powell delivered a stern message directly to the suspect.
So I want to talk to Lance right now. Lance, you have no other option but to hand yourself in to the Hartford Police Department for the horrific crimes that you have done.
Here he is, Lance Morales, a.k.a. Macho. He's 23, from Waterbury, and has a criminal record. Last seen in a white Infiniti Q70, plate number 3NE B35. He has access to multiple vehicles.
I promise you, and I make good on my promises, that you will be apprehended, and I will use all resources to apprehend you. State, federal, and all the partners that I have.
Lance Morales is now facing charges ranging from 2 counts of murder to assault. He's believed to be the trigger man who gunned down 20-year-old Josiah Mercado and her infant son, Messiah Diaz, in broad daylight here on New Britain Avenue Tuesday.
Unbelievable. I felt that this neighborhood was incredibly safe. I suppose it still is, but I'm shocked.
I heard a strange noise, and I actually had to stop in mid-conversation because it was just so loud. But I thought it was a normal car. I never heard a gun like that before.
That gun sounded like an automatic weapon for a reason.
A lot of firearms are equipped with Glock switches. You've heard us talk about that. We believe it probably did have a Glock switch on it, yes.
A Glock switch, a cheap and illegal modification that essentially converts a semi-automatic pistol into a wildly inaccurate automatic weapon with a nearly uncontrollable rate of fire. As for what led up to the killings,
the motive, what we believe at this point, is a dispute over a vehicle.
Surveillance video confirmed Morales pulled his vehicle alongside the victim's vehicle and opened fire, not only killing the mother and child, but also wounding a man in his 20s.
It's so sad because it's like the child had nothing to do with whatever the situation was.
Well, it's my understanding that it's been declining crime, and I'm happy about that. And that's one of the reasons why this is kind of shocking.
Once Morales is captured, he will be held on a $3 million bond. The mother and son who were killed are from Springfield, Massachusetts. Reporting outside Hartford Police Headquarters, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Matt, thank you. Let's get a check on the forecast. Another beautiful day today, but that all changes tonight.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frayne joining us now. Rach, we've been waiting weeks, couple of months really, for some real rain.
Yeah, finally, it's not just a few hit or miss showers, but we have a good old-fashioned rain day tomorrow, and it will come down the heaviest through the morning. We'll say between 4 a.m. and 11 a.m. So we wanted to give you a heads up about this, as your morning commute could be a little bit slower. Roads could be slippery from a combination of things. First, there's a lot of leaves that are still blowing around, especially with the dry conditions. It's kind of harder to collect them. The breeze that's been out there consistently, and wet, slippery roads can cause issues out there. So we wanted to let you know about that as well. Here's a look at the disturbance, and you can see plenty of rain associated with it as well. But we are dry through the evening tonight. No weather issues out there this evening. Temperatures will remain mild. We're in the 50s right now, and overnight lows will stay in the 40s, as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. That rain developing between 4 and 8 o'clock in the morning. Again, the morning commute is slow with some heavier downpours out there, and we'll see lingering off and on scattered showers through the afternoon and even the evening. However, I don't think that'll cause as many issues for the evening drive because we're not anticipating any heavy rain. We'll talk more about when this all clears out of here and take a look ahead towards Thanksgiving week coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, yesterday, President-elect Donald Trump tapped Connecticut's Linda McMahon to head the U.S. Department of Education, a department Trump has vowed to dismantle.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhor is joining us now in studio with more about this Connecticut connection for Trump's cabinet. Emma.
Bridget, Brent, McMahon is not only a familiar name here in Connecticut, but also to the former president. The retired WWE executive has stayed a close ally and is Trump's first pick so far who already served in his previous administration. With inauguration just 2 months away, Trump's picked her to spearhead the shuttering of the Department of Education, a core part of his campaign, which McMahon massively contributed to.
We're going to end education coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to close it up. We're going to send it all back to the states.
While Linda McMahon was expected to have a large role in President-elect Trump's incoming administration, this one is a surprise for many considering her background. The former WWE executive jumped from the wrestling ring to the political ring in the 2010s, running as the Republican nominee for U.S. Senate, but losing to Richard Blumenthal in 2010 and Chris Murphy in 2012. Trump then hired McMahon to run the Small Business Administration during his first term. We spoke with her back then about her relationship with the president.
We had had a couple of business interactions with WWE and a couple of the properties that then Donald Trump, Mr. Trump, owned and that WWE promoted in those facilities, and it was a very good working relationship.
McMahon's only educational experience is 1 year serving on the Connecticut Board of Education back in 2009 and years on the Board of Trustees for Sacred Heart University. Kate Diaz, president of the Connecticut Education Association, reacted to the nomination, saying she feels it, quote, represents a reckless shift in our nation's education priorities, adding, quote, the incoming administration's agenda puts a long list of protections at risk. President-elect Trump and now McMahon have vowed to close the Department of Education, but it's not something the president can do by himself. The department was created by Congress, and only Congress can abolish it. Though Republicans do control both chambers right now, the Senate filibuster would make it very hard to pass legislation without some support from Democrats. If it were to happen, though, it's assumed many of the department's functions would continue, like distributing money to schools in low-income communities and children with disabilities, just in a less organized manner. Governor Lamont tells us he isn't too worried.
I think they're just rearranging the deck chairs. You're still going to have Title IX. You're still going to have the grants being made. That's not going to go away. All they're going to do is move it from one building to another.
Now, the current education secretary is also from Connecticut. I did reach out to Secretary Miguel Cardona's office for comment on this nomination, but did not hear back. As with all of Trump's cabinet picks, they will still require Senate confirmation. In the studio, Emma Wolfhor, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station. Brent, Bridget.
All right, Emma, thank you. Enfield High School dismissed early today after a student brought a BB gun to school. The school went on lockdown around 10:30 this morning. Police say they were able to quickly identify the student involved and take them into custody. School will resume regular schedule tomorrow with extra counselors on hand for students and staff.
Ellington High School was dismissed early today due to a water main break. It happened on Maple Street this afternoon. All afternoon activities were canceled. The Ellington Senior Center also closed early due to the water issues in the area. No word yet on when the break will be repaired, but officials expect it to take a number of hours. New details tonight in Vernon, where 8 elementary school students were taken to the hospital after their school bus was hit on the way to a field trip. The bus was heading to Windsor Locks at the time when it was hit on I-84 in Manchester. As you can see, it backed up traffic in that area for some time. Officials say the students were all 4th graders from Maple Street School. 8 were taken to the hospital, we're told, with minor injuries. The rest of the students were brought back to the school unharmed.
A Hartford woman faces charges for driving under the influence with children in her car. Police pulled Michelle Bullitt over after receiving multiple calls that a car couldn't stay in its lane, almost hitting many other cars. Troopers asked her to perform a sobriety test, and Bullitt agreed, and she failed. Officers later found Bullitt's driver's license was suspended, and the license plate did not belong to that car. In fact, it wasn't registered. The kids in the car were 3, 9, and 17 years old.
A man accused in the cold case abduction and rape of a Danbury woman faced a judge today. David Coffey is facing charges in connection to the case that dates back to 1989. Investigators say the victim came forward last November, giving investigators a break in the case. Coffey did not enter a plea today, but you see him there. He's due in court once again next month.